Hello. Welcome to Captain Party Story Time. We'll be reading another chapter in our fun story here. Let's see. Where's my flashlight? Mm-hmm. There we go. Boop. Where were we? Chapter 23. All right. So, anytime somebody in a new car offered them a ride, the mommy told the driver no. They'd stand back at the side of the road and watch the new Cadillac or Buick or Toyota disappear, and the mommy would say, "The smell of the new car is the smell of death." And this was the third or the fourth time she came back to claim him. "The glue and the resin smell in new cars is formaldehyde," she'd say. "The same thing they use to preserve dead bodies. It's in new houses and new furniture. It's called off-gassing. You can inhale formaldehyde from new clothes, and after you inhale enough, expect stomach cramps, vomiting, and diarrhea. See also liver failure. See also shock. See also death. If you're looking for enlightenment," the mommy said, "a new car is not the answer." Along the side of the road will be foxgloves blooming, tall stalks of purple and white flowers. "Digitalis," the mommy said. "It doesn't work either. From eating foxglove flowers you get nausea, delirium, and blurred vision." Above them, a mountain held itself against the sky, catching clouds and coated with pine trees, and then some snow higher up. It was so big that no matter how long they walked, it was still in the same place. The mommy took the white tube out of her purse, and she pinched it onto one shoulder of the stupid little boy for balance, and she sniffed hard under the tube. She stuck it up one side of her nose and sniffed again, and then she dropped this tube onto the gravel edge of the road and just stood looking at the mountain. This was a mountain so big that they would always be walking past it. When the mommy let go, the stupid boy picked up the tube and he wiped the blood off with his shirt tail and he handed it back to her. "Trichlorothorane," the mom said, and held the tube for him to see. "All my extensive testing has shown that this is the best treatment for dangerous excesses of human knowledge." And she buried the tube back in her purse. "And the mountain, for example," she said. She took the boy's stupid chin between her thumb and forefinger and made him look with her. "That big, glorious mountain, for one transitionary moment, I think I may have actually seen it." Another car slowed down, something brown and four-doored, something too late model, so the mommy waved it away. For one flash, the mommy had seen the mountain without thinking of logging and ski resorts and avalanches or managed wildlife, plate tectonic geology, microclimates, rain shadow, or yin and yang locations. She'd seen the mountain without the framework of language, without the cage of associations. She'd seen it without looking through the lens of everything she knew. Everything she knew was true about mountains. What she'd seen in that flash wasn't even a mountain. It wasn't a natural resource, and it had no name. "And that is the big goal," she said, "to find a cure for knowledge and for education and for living in our heads." Cars went by on the highway, and the mommy and the little boy kept walking with the mountain still sitting there. Ever since the story of Adam and Eve in the Bible, humanity had been a little too smart for its own good, the mommy said. Ever since eating the apple, her goal was to find, if not a cure, then at least a treatment that would give people back their innocence. Formaldehyde didn't work, and digitalis didn't work. None of the natchy highs seemed to do the job. Not smoking mace or nutmeg or peanut skins. Not dill or hydrangea leaves or lettuce juice. At night, the mommy used to sneak the little boy through the backyards of other people, and she'd drink the beer people left out for slugs and snails, and she'd nibble on the Jimson weed and nightshade and catnip, and she'd squeeze up next to parked cars and smell the inside of their gas tanks, and she'd unscrew the cap in their lawn, and she'd smell their heating oil. I figure, if Eve could get us into this mess, then maybe I can get us out, the mommy said. God really likes to see a go-getter. Other cars slowed down, cars with families full of luggage and family dogs, but the mommy just waved them past. The cerebral cortex, the cerebellum, she said, that's where your problem is. If she could just get down to using only her brainstem, then she would be cured. This would be somewhere beyond happiness and sadness. You don't see fish agonized by wild mood swings. Sponges never have a bad day. The gravel crushed and shifted under their feet. The cars going by made their own hot wind. My goal, the mommy said, is not to uncomplicate my life. She said, my goal is to uncomplicate myself. And she told the stupid little boy that morning glory seeds didn't work. She'd tried them, and the effects didn't last. And sweet potato leaves didn't work either, and neither did pyrrhicium extracted from chrysanthemums, and neither was sniffing propane, and neither did the leaves of rhubarbs or azaleas. And after a night in someone's yard, the mommy left a bite out of almost every plant for people to find. Those cosmetic drugs, she said, those mood equalizers and antidepressants, they only treat the symptoms of the bigger problem. Every addiction, she said, was just a way to treat the same problem. Drugs, overeating, alcohol, sex, it was all just another way to find peace and to escape what we know, our education and our bite of the apple. Language, she said, was just our way to explain away the wonder and the glory of the world, to deconstruct it and then to dismiss it. She said people can't deal with how beautiful the world really is, how it can't be explained and it can't be understood. Ahead of them on the highway was a restaurant, parked all around with trucks bigger than the restaurant itself. Some of the new cars the mommy didn't want were parked there, and you could smell lots of different food being fried in the same hot oil. You could smell truck engines idle. We don't live in the real world anymore, she said. We live in a world of symbols. The mommy stopped, and she put her hand in her purse. She held the boy's shoulder, and she stood looking up at the mountain. Just one last little peek at reality, she said, and then we'll have lunch. And she put the white tube in her nose, and she breathed in. Well, that's our chapter for this evening. Next time we'll be reading chapter 24. Sounds like there's a raccoon in the bushes. And we'll see you next time.